So my name is Marty Schwarz. I graduated in 2014, and the order is actually pretty different. I didn't apply for a Fulbright until I think 4 years after graduating. So luckily, the whole system is set up to accommodate 5 years after graduating from any higher education. So I was still in that window. I was doing traditional engineering stuff after graduating, and then I did moved a little bit more into research, sort of analytics side, and in the Fulbright research. And now I'm working at the National Renewable Energy Lab, doing similar research to my Fulbright. So it really dovetailed well with my next, or getting me a job, physics alum, and I knew I wanted to do something in renewable energy. The amount of work going on there, the amount of interest in both the national and state level governments in reaching those targets, India was the natural place to search for something in renewable energy. I worked with Marynel pretty closely, even though we had never met, as far as I remember, in person. um, and so she was incredibly helpful, and the whole process through Carleton was amazing. I definitely don't think I would have received the fellowship if I had just done it on my own, which is also an option. Um, so through them, I really honed my um, proposal and what exactly they knew exactly what they're looking for, so they kind of helped me shape it. But so that was a really important piece. I'd say the other really important piece for uh, in the process of applying for Fulbright was finding an in-country partner that was really willing to help and help guide me towards what the gaps in the literature and some type of research that would actually be of interest and sort of a hot topic in the industry. So that was the first step, and that was a crucial first step. I actually connected originally through a professor of mine, Argendu, um, who I think, yeah, he's still teaching in the physics department. So as a physics, I don't know if I mentioned that. It was pretty clear from the Carleton website and taking everything they said pretty seriously that it's like a very in-depth process, many steps, many months. I think I started reaching out. Gosh, I don't even know. Probably a year before um, the final application was due. And for a long time, I was just talking to people in the country and trying to get a sense of like what research would be helpful, kind of going back and forth between different ideas. It's overwhelming sometimes. It'll take a huge body of research that there's so many experts working on, and then try and plug myself in who isn't really an expert at all. The only way for that to make sense is to be partnered with an expert who can find a way for me to help. So I think Fulbright is really designed towards that setup, more so than other fellowships where they connect, willing and eager young students with established professors or university people that are in the field, and then sort of a mutually beneficial setup. The amount of time it took to finally figure out a concrete research question that would make a coherent proposal, because the strength of a Fulbright application is really centered around a project being feasible in 9 months and not being too broad, and having relevance but attainability. So it was hard to like narrow down a focus and come up with a single research question that I could understand enough to actually feel like I could accomplish in the 9 months. Having it dovetail with my getting a job now was obviously nice for my career and a concrete benefit, but the less concrete benefit was the personal growth of just living in a very foreign country for an extended period of time. It was just nice to be in this foreign place where like I'd only experienced, oh, you're gonna go see these tourist sites. Oh, let's go see the Taj Mahal. Let's go somewhere. Let's get in this cab and like experience this city. Instead, I was just experiencing the city by living in it and commuting and going to normal places. So that was definitely my highlight. And I mean, the city of Bangalore too is an amazing place. So of all the cities to live in, I was excited that it was that one. So I got to have a little apartment there, and the campus is so beautiful. So driving around and running around, yeah, that was really nice. Well, it's a pretty concrete connection from Fulbright research to my job at NREL. My advisor, my in-country advisor, was pretty connected to my current boss now, so there was already a lot of professional connections. He's actually the one that sent me the job posting that I applied for at NREL. It was almost like a seamless transition. I'm still working on projects in Karnataka now. They'll have calls like tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. calling Bangalore. The NWEL was already doing a lot of work with, we're going into doing projects in individual states. That's sort of how I helped craft my proposal, by looking at NWEL reports, specifically this one called Greening the Grid, which was a national level grid integration study, which addressed not the 2030 targets, but the 2022 targets. There's a lot of targets in every country, so India just has some really aggressive ones. And Greening the Grid was grid integration study, so I sort of used that giant effort and then found a way that my research could sort of help one little element of that, or address an assumption that they had made. So then after doing that research, it made sense to apply those skills at NREL itself. So that was only possible through Fulbright. Again, I don't have a master's even or a PhD, so I'm sort of at a disadvantage in terms of educational background. But luckily, Fulbright is well known enough, and the project was relevant enough that the skills were there. I mean, I had a lot, actually, a strong experience, intense experience applying for the Watson Fellowship. That was when I was a senior, so it was a pretty different experience, because I was for Fulbright, I was like fully free. Was it 3.5 years out of school, something like that, when I first started thinking about it. For Fulbright, keep in mind that 5 years is really nice, and then to realize that you don't have to do it. Like with the Watson, you get one shot, you get one window. It has to be your senior year at this select 40 liberal arts schools or whatever. Fulbright, there's a lot more opportunity. I encourage you to go out in the world for a couple of years and really figure out what your interests are, and then it'll help you come up with a much more focused proposal. And I mean, obviously, there's still the majority of people applying are seniors, and that's still great for their careers. But I think my experience is a nice example of how you can turn back to the more academic world and then use that to jumpstart career, or accelerate a career that you're already interested in and are already involved in. So I think Fulbright was amazing for my career, and I wouldn't, for me at least as a senior, I wouldn't have crafted the same proposal that I crafted 3 years out of school, and I wouldn't have had the same experience. It was nice being a little bit older, I think, during the Fulbright experience. I mean, again, most of the people that were in my program in Fulbright were like a year or two out of college, but some were like way older. So it's a whole mix. And just listen to Marynel, do everything she says.